ask you something. When someone speaks English to you, does your brain freeze for a few seconds?
Do you translate every sentence in your head and then feel nervous because you're too slow to respond?
Here's the truth. Fluency is not about knowing more words. It's about training your brain to think directly in English.
And in this episode of Speak English with Sam and Lily, we're going to show you exactly how to do that.
If you stay with us for the next few minutes, you'll learn simple techniques that can completely change how your brain processes English. Hey, English learners! Welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily, the show that helps you improve your English in a natural and enjoyable way. I'm Sam.
And I'm Lily. Hi, Sam. Hello, everyone listening.
Hey, Lily. How's your day going?
It's been really productive, actually. I spent the morning reviewing some interesting language learning research, which is perfect timing because of today's topic.
Oh, that's great. Yes, today we're diving deep into something that I think many of our listeners struggle with.
Let me guess. Thinking in English?
Exactly. Today's episode is all about how to train your brain to speak in English naturally without constantly translating in your head.
This is such an important topic. I remember when I was learning my second language, I used to translate everything word by word in my mind. It was exhausting.
Right? It's mentally draining, and it really slows down your conversation. But here's the good news for everyone listening.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Exactly. There are practical strategies you can use to retrain your brain.
Before we jump in, though, we should mention something to our listeners.
Yes, if you're enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful, please take a moment to like this episode and subscribe to our channel. Subscribing really helps us reach more English learners like you, and it means we can create more content to support your learning journey.
Also, if you know someone who's learning English, share this episode with them. Learning is always better when you can discuss it with friends.
Absolutely. Okay, Lily, I'm ready. Let's talk about training our brains.
Perfect. So, Sam, let me ask you this. When you were translating everything in your head, what was the biggest problem you noticed?
The biggest problem? I'd say it was the delay. Someone would ask me a question, and there would be this awkward pause while I was processing.
Right, because your brain was doing double work.
Exactly. First, I had to understand the English, then translate it to my native language, then think of my response in my native language, and then translate it back to English.
That's 4 steps when it should just be 2. Understand and respond. It's no wonder conversations felt so challenging.
And you know what's interesting? Many intermediate learners, even at B1 level, still do this sometimes without realizing it.
Really? Even when they already know a lot of English?
Yes, because it's a habit. Their brain has been trained to use that translation pathway, so it automatically goes there, especially when they're nervous or tired.
So we need to create a new pathway in the brain.
Exactly. We need to build what neuroscientists call neural pathways directly in English.
Neural pathways. That sounds very scientific.
It does, but the concept is actually simple. Think of it like this. Imagine your brain is a forest and you need to get from point A to point B.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
At first, there's no clear path, so you have to push through the bushes and branches. It's slow and difficult. That's like when you're first learning English and everything feels hard.
Right.
But if you walk the same route every day, eventually you create a clear path through the forest.
The grass gets worn down, the path becomes obvious, and soon you can walk it easily without thinking.
Exactly. That's what happens in your brain with language. The more you think directly in English, the stronger that pathway becomes.
Until eventually it becomes automatic.
Precisely. So today, we're going to give you practical strategies to build those English pathways in your brain.
I'm excited about this. Where should we start?
Let's start with what I call mental substitution.
Mental substitution. Tell me more.
Well, most people at B1 level already know a lot of English words and structures. The problem isn't knowledge, it's activation.
Activation?
Yes, the words are stored in your brain, but they're not active. They're like books on a shelf that you never take down and read.
Ah, so we need to take those books off the shelf more often.
Exactly. And here's how you do it. Throughout your day, whenever you think something in your native language, pause for a moment and ask yourself, how would I say this in English?
So basically catching my thoughts and translating them.
Not exactly translating, more like expressing them. Let me give you an example. This morning, I was making coffee and I thought to myself in my native language, I need more sugar.
A simple thought.
Very simple. But then I stopped and said in my mind, I need more sugar. But then I pushed myself further. How else could I express this?
Oh, I see what you mean. You could say, this coffee isn't sweet enough.
Or, I'd like to add some more sugar. Or, this needs to be sweeter.
So you're not just translating one sentence, you're exploring different ways to express the same idea.
Exactly. And this is crucial because it gets your brain thinking flexibly in English, rather than thinking there's only one correct translation.
Right. Language isn't about finding the perfect word-for-word translation. It's about expressing meaning.
This is really helpful. So throughout the day, I should be catching my thoughts and rephrasing them in English.
Yes, but here's the important part. Don't just do it once. Try to come up with 2 or 3 different ways to say the same thing.
That makes the neural pathways even stronger.
Exactly. And it also prepares you for real conversations. Because in real life, you often need to rephrase something if the other person doesn't understand.
That's a great point. I've definitely been in situations where I said something and the person looked confused and I had no idea how to say it differently.
Because you only had one pathway to that idea. But if you practice creating multiple pathways,
then I have options. I can rephrase easily.
Exactly. Let me give everyone listening a practical exercise for this week.
Yes, homework time.
Okay, choose 3 daily activities. Maybe making breakfast, commuting to work, and getting ready for bed.
Okay, 3 routine activities.
During each of these activities, narrate what you're doing in your head in English, but challenge yourself to say each action in at least 2 different ways.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you're brushing your teeth. You could think, I'm brushing my teeth, and then also, I'm cleaning my teeth, or I'm using my toothbrush.
So even simple actions get this double or triple expression.
Yes, and after a week of this, you'll notice that English starts to flow more naturally because your brain has more routes to access the language.
I love this. Okay, so that's our first major strategy, mental substitution with multiple expressions.
Right. Now let's talk about something that I think is often overlooked, the power of inner monologue.
Inner monologue, you mean like talking to yourself?
Exactly, and I know some people feel weird about this, but it's actually one of the most powerful tools for language learning.
I have to admit, I do this sometimes when I'm walking alone. Sometimes I have entire conversations in my head.
And do you do it in English or your native language?
Usually my native language, but I guess I should be doing it in English.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to do it all in English right away. That can be overwhelming.
So what do you suggest?
Start by having a bilingual inner monologue. Think of a sentence in your native language, then repeat it in English.
So I'm still translating it first.
Yes, but here's the key. You're doing it in a low-pressure environment. There's no one waiting for your answer, no one judging your grammar.
So it's a safe space to practice.
Exactly. And over time, you'll notice something interesting happening.
What's that?
The English will start coming first. Sometimes you'll think of something directly in English without needing to translate it first.
Really? That just happens naturally?
It does, but only if you practice. The brain is very efficient. It learns to take shortcuts.
So if I keep using this English pathway, my brain will eventually realize, hey, this is faster than translating.
Precisely. Your brain will start to prefer the direct English route because it's more efficient.
That's fascinating. So the inner monologue is like a training ground.
Yes, and here's another tip that's really powerful. Make it interesting. Don't just narrate boring things.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people will practice by thinking, I'm sitting, I'm standing, I'm walking.
Which is useful, but also pretty boring.
Right. Instead, have real thoughts, opinions, feelings, reactions.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you see someone wearing a really interesting jacket. Instead of just thinking, that's a nice jacket, engage with it more.
How?
Think something like, wow, that jacket is really stylish. I wonder where they bought it. I'd love to have something like that, but in a darker color. Maybe I should look for something similar online.
Oh, I see. You're having a real internal conversation, not just labeling things.
Exactly. You're using complex sentences, hypothetical situations, expressing preferences. This is much more valuable for your brain.
Because this is how we actually use language in real life.
Exactly. We don't just label things. We have opinions, make plans, wonder about things.
So the inner monologue should reflect real thinking, not just vocabulary practice.
Yes, and here's something else that's really powerful. Make it emotional.
My emotions?
Yes, when you feel frustrated, try to express that frustration in English in your head. This is so annoying. Or, I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, emotional language.
Right. When you feel happy about something, think, this is wonderful, or I'm so glad this worked out.
I see what you're doing. You're connecting emotions with English expressions.
Exactly. And this creates very strong neural connections because emotions are processed in a deep part of the brain. So when language is connected to emotion, it sticks better. Much better. This is why people often remember swear words very easily in a foreign language.
That's true. Even beginners seem to pick those up quickly.
Because they're often said with strong emotion, but you can use this principle with positive emotions too.
So express my joy, my frustration, my surprise, all in English in my inner monologue?
Yes, and over time, English becomes the language of your emotions, not just your intellect.
That's really powerful. Okay, so we've talked about mental substitution and inner monologue. What's next?
Next, let's talk about something that many B1 learners overlook, the importance of input quality.
Input quality. You mean like listening and reading?
Yes, but not just any listening and reading. You need the right kind of input at the right level.
I think this is where a lot of people make mistakes.
Right, absolutely. Many intermediate learners make one of two errors.
What's the first error?
They consume content that's too easy. They stick with beginner-level materials because they're comfortable, but they're not being challenged.
Right. Their brain isn't growing because it's not being pushed. And what's the second error?
The opposite. They jump to very advanced content, like watching news programs or reading academic articles.
And they get overwhelmed and discouraged. Exactly. So the key is finding what's called comprehensible input.
Comprehensible input. I've heard this term before. What does it mean exactly?
It means content that's slightly above your current level. You understand most of it, maybe 70 to 80%, but there are some new words and structures that challenge you.
So you're comfortable but also learning.
Exactly. This is the sweet spot for brain training.
How do people find content at the right level?
Great question. For B1 learners, I recommend a few strategies.
I'm ready to take notes.
First, look for content that's designed for language learners at your level. There are podcasts, YouTube channels, and graded readers specifically made for intermediate learners.
Like our podcast.
Exactly like Speak English with Sam and Lily. We design our content to be accessible, but also challenging for B1 learners.
What's the second strategy?
The second strategy is to use authentic content, but with support.
What do you mean by support?
For example, watching a TV show or movie with English subtitles. The audio is authentic, native level English, but you have the subtitles to help you follow along.
Oh, that's clever. You're training your ear while having a safety net.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip. If you're watching with subtitles, try to read ahead slightly.
Read ahead?
Yes, glance at the next line of dialogue before it's spoken. This way, your brain knows what to listen for.
Oh, so you're priming your brain for the sounds you're about to hear.
Exactly. This is really effective for improving listening comprehension.
What about reading? How should people approach reading at B1 level?
For reading, I recommend what I call the 70% rule.
The 70% rule?
If you're reading something and you don't understand more than 30% of the words, it's too difficult. Put it aside and find something easier.
So you should understand at least 70% naturally.
Right. At that level, you can guess the meaning of new words from context, which is how native speakers naturally expand their vocabulary.
That makes sense. If you're stopping every sentence to look up words, you're not really reading.
Exactly. You're just doing a translation exercise, which doesn't help your fluency.
So what kind of reading do you recommend?
For B1 level, I really like graded readers. These are novels or stories that have been adapted to use vocabulary and grammar at your level.
Don't those feel a bit simplified, though?
Some do, but there are really good ones that tell engaging stories. The important thing is that you can read them smoothly without constantly stopping.
Because fluency is what we're after.
Exactly. You want your brain to experience the flow of English, not the stop and start of looking up every other word.
What about more authentic reading, like news articles or blogs?
Those can be great too, especially if you choose topics you're interested in.
Why does interest matter?
Because when you're interested in the content, your brain is more motivated to understand it. You push through difficulties more easily.
So I should read about my hobbies and interests in English.
Absolutely. If you love cooking, read cooking blogs. If you're into technology, read tech articles. If you follow sports, read sports news. Your brain will work harder to understand because it wants to know the information.
Exactly. Motivation is key. Okay, let's talk about one more crucial aspect of input.
What's that?
Repetition and review.
Oh, reading or listening to the same thing multiple times.
Yes, but not in the way most people think.
What do you mean?
Many people think repetition means reading the same article 5 times in a row until they understand every word, and that's not effective. It can be, but it's boring. Instead, I recommend what I call spaced re-exposure.
Spaced re-exposure.
Yes. Listen to a podcast episode today, then listen to it again 3 days later, then maybe once more a week after that.
Why space it out like that?
Because each time you return to it, your brain is in a slightly different state. You've learned more, you've practiced more, so you understand it at a deeper level.
Oh, that's interesting. So the first time you might catch 70%, but the second time you might catch 85%.
And by the third time, you're understanding nearly everything, and it feels effortless.
And that feeling of improvement is really motivating.
Exactly. Plus, you're reinforcing those neural pathways each time. The English patterns are getting stronger in your brain. Yes. Okay, let's move on to what might be the most important part. Output. Output. That's speaking and writing, right? Right. This is where you actively use the English that's being built in your brain. I think this is what scares people the most. You're absolutely right. Many learners spend years consuming English, reading, listening, studying, but they're terrified to actually speak.
Why is that?
Fear of making mistakes, mostly. Fear of sounding stupid. Fear of not being understood.
Those are legitimate fears.
They are, but here's the truth. You cannot train your brain to speak without actually speaking.
It's like learning to swim. You can't learn by just watching videos of people swimming.
Exactly. At some point, you have to get in the water.
So how should people start? Not everyone has English-speaking friends to practice with.
That's true, and that's okay. You can start by speaking to yourself. We mentioned this earlier with inner monologue.
But you mean actually speaking out loud?
Yes, but let's go deeper. There are different ways to practice speaking alone, and some are more effective than others.
Tell me about the most effective methods.
One of my favorites is what I call shadowing.
Shadowing?
Yes, you listen to a native speaker, maybe a podcast or a video, and you repeat what they say, trying to match their rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation.
So you're mimicking them in real time.
Exactly. There are different levels of shadowing. At the basic level, you pause after each sentence and repeat it.
That seems manageable.
At a more advanced level, you try to speak along with them in real time, like an echo.
That sounds challenging.
It is, but it's incredibly effective because you're training your mouth muscles, your rhythm, and your fluency all at once, and you're using authentic native speech as your model.
Exactly. Your brain starts to internalize the natural rhythm and flow of English.
What other solo practice techniques do you recommend?
Another powerful one is recording yourself.
Oh, I don't like the sound of my own voice.
Most people don't, but this is really valuable. Here's why. When you speak without recording, you don't really know what you sound like.
True. I might think I'm being clear, but I'm not sure.
Right, but when you record yourself and play it back, you can hear your mistakes. You become your own teacher.
Exactly. You might notice that you're speaking too fast, or that you're dropping the endings of words, or that your intonation sounds flat.
And then you can work on fixing those things.
Yes. Here's a specific exercise. Choose a topic, speak about it for 2 minutes while recording, then listen back and note 3 things you want to improve.
Just 3 things?
Yes. If you try to fix everything at once, you'll get overwhelmed. Pick 3 specific things. Then record yourself again.
Yes, speak about the same topic again, focusing on improving those 3 things.
And you can compare the 2 recordings.
Exactly. You'll be amazed at how much you can improve in just 1 session.
That's encouraging. What about practicing with other people?
That's the ultimate goal, of course, but I know not everyone has easy access to conversation partners.
Right. What if you live in a place where English isn't commonly spoken?
These days, there's lots of online options, language exchange apps, online tutoring platforms, conversation clubs.
And what should people focus on during these conversations?
Here's something important that many people get wrong. They think the goal is to speak perfectly.
And that's not the goal.
No, the goal is to communicate effectively. Mistakes are actually good.
How can mistakes be good?
Because mistakes show you where your knowledge gaps are. Each mistake is an opportunity to learn something.
So we shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes.
Not at all. In fact, I'd argue that if you're not making mistakes, you're not pushing yourself enough.
You're staying in your comfort zone.
Exactly. The goal is to push just beyond your comfort zone.
Like with input, finding that sweet spot.
Yes, you want to be slightly uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that you freeze up.
How do you find that balance?
It takes practice and self-awareness. You need to notice when you're feeling challenged in a good way versus feeling overwhelmed, and adjust accordingly.
Right. If you're in a conversation and you realize you're completely lost, it's okay to say, "I'm sorry, could you speak a bit slower?" Or, "I'm not familiar with that topic. Could we talk about something else?"
Taking control of the conversation.
Exactly. Now, let me share one more powerful output technique.
I'm listening.
It's called self-talk narrative.
Self-talk narrative?
Yes, throughout your day, narrate what you're doing, thinking, or feeling in English, but do it out loud.
So, like a documentary of my own life.
Exactly. Now I'm making lunch. I'm going to have a sandwich. Let me see. What do I have in the fridge? Oh, there's some cheese and tomatoes. That sounds good. I think I'll toast the bread.
This feels a bit silly, I have to admit.
It might feel silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you're practicing real-time English production. You're not thinking about what to say, you're just saying what you're experiencing. So it's very spontaneous. Yes, and that's exactly what you need to do in real conversations. You need to be able to speak spontaneously without overthinking. So this builds that spontaneous speaking muscle. Exactly, and here's a tip. Do this when you're alone at home, in the shower, while cooking, while cleaning. Times when I'm doing something automatic with my hands. Yes, because then your brain is free to focus on the language. This is really practical advice, Lily. I feel like we've covered so much ground. We have. Let's take a moment to review the main strategies we've discussed. We talked about mental substitution, catching our thoughts and expressing them in multiple ways in English. We discussed inner monologue and the importance of connecting language with emotions. Then we talked about input quality, finding content at the right level, the 70% rule, and spaced repetition. And finally, we covered output techniques, shadowing, recording yourself, and self-talk narrative. But you know what I'm wondering, Lily? What's that? How long does it take? When will someone see results from all this? That's the question everyone wants answered, isn't it? It is. People want to know, if I do this every day, when will I be fluent? Here's the honest answer. It depends.
On what?
On several factors. How much time you practice each day, your current level, your native language, your learning environment.
So there's no magic number.
No magic number, but I can give you some general expectations.
Please do. I think people need realistic expectations.
If you're practicing these techniques for 15 to 30 minutes every day consistently, you'll start to notice small changes within 2 to 3 weeks. What kind of changes? You might notice that some English words or phrases start popping into your head more naturally. You might find yourself thinking briefly in English without trying. Small wins. Yes, small wins. After about 2 months, these moments become more frequent. You might have entire thoughts in English without translating. And after 6 months? After 6 months of consistent practice, most people report that English starts to feel more natural. They're not constantly aware that they're speaking a foreign language. It becomes more automatic. Exactly, but here's the important thing to remember. Everyone's journey is different.
Some people might progress faster, some slower.
Right, and that's okay. The key is consistency, not speed.
Better to practice a little bit every day than to cram once a week.
Exactly. Your brain needs regular exposure and practice to build those neural pathways.
It's like going to the gym. You can't work out once a week and expect to get strong.
Perfect analogy. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
Speaking of challenges, what about mental blocks? You know those moments when you just freeze up and can't think of anything to say?
Oh, this is so common, especially for intermediate learners.
Why does it happen?
Usually, it's anxiety. Your brain goes into stress mode, and when you're stressed, it's harder to access your language knowledge.
So, what can people do when this happens? First, recognize that it's normal and temporary. Everyone experiences this, even advanced speakers.
Okay, so don't panic.
Right. Second, have some filler phrases ready.
Filler phrases?
Yes, phrases like, let me think about that for a moment, or that's an interesting question, or, how should I put this?
Oh, so you're buying yourself time to think.
Exactly. And you're doing it in English, which keeps the conversation flowing.
Native speakers do this all the time, don't they?
All the time. It's completely natural. These phrases are like bridges that help you get from the question to your answer.
What else can help with mental blocks?
Another technique is to simplify what you're trying to say.
Simplify?
Yes, often we freeze because we're trying to express something complex and we can't find the right words.
So instead of giving up,
You break it down into simpler ideas that you can express.
can you give me an example?
Sure, let's say you want to say, I'm considering whether to pursue a master's degree in engineering or to start working immediately after graduation.
That's a complex thought.
Very complex. If you can't express that exactly, you could simplify it to, I'm thinking about my future. Should I study more or should I get a job? I'm not sure yet.
Oh, that's much simpler, but still communicates the main idea.
Exactly. You've communicated the essential meaning, and that's what matters. And once you've said the simpler version, you might find it easier to add more details. Yes, often just getting started helps your brain relax and access more language. It's like priming the pump. Exactly. Okay, we're getting close to the end of our time today, but I want to leave our listeners with one final important point. What's that? The importance of patience and self-compassion. Ah, this is so important. It really is. Many language learners are incredibly hard on themselves. They beat themselves up over every mistake. Yes, they compare themselves to native speakers or to other learners who seem to be progressing faster. And that's discouraging. It's very discouraging. So here's what I want everyone listening to remember. Learning a language is one of the most complex things your brain will ever do. It involves memory, pattern recognition, muscle coordination, cultural understanding. Exactly. It's enormous. So be kind to yourself. Celebrate the small victories. Yes. Did you understand a movie scene today that you wouldn't have understood last month? That's progress. Did you have a conversation in English? Even if you made mistakes, that's progress. Exactly. Every time you try, you're training your brain. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. I think people need to hear this. Language learning can be frustrating, and it's easy to feel like you're not improving, especially during what we call plateaus. Plateaus? Yes, those periods where you feel like you're not making progress. You're practicing, but your English doesn't seem to be getting better. I've experienced this. It's so frustrating. It is, but here's the thing. Your brain is still working during these plateaus. You're consolidating knowledge, making connections. So you are improving even if you can't see it. Exactly. And then suddenly you'll have a breakthrough moment where everything clicks and you realize you've actually improved a lot. Yes. So during those plateau periods, don't give up. Keep practicing. Trust the process. Trust the process. Your brain is amazing, and it's working even when you don't feel like you're making progress. This has been such a valuable conversation, Lily. Let's recap the main points one more time for everyone listening. Great idea. So we discussed mental substitution, expressing thoughts in multiple ways. Inner monologue, connecting language with emotions. Input quality, finding content at the right level, the 70% rule. Output techniques, shadowing, recording yourself, self-talk narrative. Dealing with mental blocks, using filler phrases and simplifying your message. And finally, patience and self-compassion. Yes, remember everyone, training your brain to speak English is a journey. Enjoy the process. Before we wrap up, we want to ask our listeners to do something. Yes, if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Subscribing helps us create more content like this for you, and share this episode with anyone who's learning English. Learning is better when we support each other. Also, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us what's your biggest challenge when speaking English. Yes, We read all the comments, and your questions help us create future episodes.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, be patient with yourself, and remember, you're doing great.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, before we start, let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed that your English disappears only when you're tired?
Not busy tired, not sleepy tired, but that quiet kind of tired, where your body's fine, but your heart feels heavy.
Yeah, that tired. The kind where someone asks you a simple question like, "So, how was your day?" And suddenly your brain says, "Error."
Oh my goodness, yes. Inside your head, you're like, I know English. I know English. But outside, your mouth says, it was, okay.
And if this has happened to you, I want you to listen very carefully now, because this episode is not about grammar. It's not about vocabulary, and it's definitely not about trying harder.
This is about something no one talks about, your emotional energy, and how it controls your English.
Let me tell you a real moment. Picture this. You finish work. Your shoulders are tight. Your mind is full. You stop at the supermarket. The cashier smiles and says, "How are you today?"
And inside your head, you want to say something human, something real, like, I'm exhausted, but grateful I survived the day.
But what comes out is good. Just good.
And then you walk away thinking, why am I like this?
Listen carefully. Your English did not disappear. Your brain went into energy-saving mode.
When you are emotionally tired, your brain says, let's survive, not perform.
And English, especially speaking English, needs emotional energy, not intelligence, not talent, energy.
This is why at home you speak English like a movie character, but outside you sound like a robot with low battery.
Exactly. At home, you're like, today was emotionally challenging, but I handled it. Outside, you're like, yes. So here's the first lesson. When you are emotionally tired, you do not need big sentences.
You need soft English.
Soft English means short, gentle, human sentences. For example,
Instead of forcing yourself to say, I'm doing well, thank you for asking, you can say, not bad.
that's English. That counts. That's enough.
So many people think, if I don't speak perfectly, I failed. But emotionally tired people don't need perfection. They need permission.
Permission to speak less. Permission to pause. Permission to be quiet without feeling stupid. And here's something powerful. The more you stop forcing English, the faster it comes back.
Yes, because safety brings language back. Pressure kills it.
Think about this. When you're relaxed with a close friend, even in English, you speak better.
But put the same words in a meeting with expectations, and suddenly your mouth forgets everything.
That's not language loss. That's emotional overload.
So let's give you something practical. Here are low-energy English phrases.
Slowly and clearly. Repeat them in your mind, not out loud. No pressure.
Soft modeling. Let me think. Give me a moment. I'm a bit tired today.
These sentences protect your energy.
If you're listening right now and you feel seen, that means you're exactly where you need to be.
You don't need motivation today. You don't need confidence today. You just need gentle English that meets you where you are.
You know what's interesting? When people feel emotionally tired, they don't say, I forgot English. They say, I don't feel like talking.
Yes. And that sentence is very honest. Because deep inside, it's not about language, it's about protection.
Protection from what? From sounding wrong, from being judged, or from feeling exposed?
All of it.
When you're emotionally drained, your mind becomes very careful. It says, let's not open ourselves today.
And English, speaking English especially, feels like opening a door.
Yes, a door where people can hear you, judge you, interrupt you, or misunderstand you.
So your brain says, maybe later.
Let me share something real. A learner once told me, I can speak English, but only when I feel safe.
Safe how?
Safe like no pressure, no correcting face, no hurry. Just space.
That sentence stayed with me because language doesn't grow in stress, it grows in safety.
Think about a child. When a child is scared, they don't speak much. But when they feel safe, they talk nonstop.
Adults are the same, just better at hiding it.
We say, I'm fine, but inside we're like, please don't ask me anything else.
Especially not in English. So let's slow this down. If you're emotionally tired, your English doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be honest.
Honest English sounds like real life, not textbook life.
Real life English is saying, I'm a bit off today, instead of forcing a smile and saying, I'm doing great, thank you.
And when you say the honest version, your body relaxes. That relaxation brings words back.
Have you noticed this? When you stop trying to sound good, you suddenly sound better.
Always, because your brain is no longer fighting.
Imagine this moment. You're on a call. Someone asks for your opinion. Your heart beats faster. Your mind goes blank.
That silence feels loud, doesn't it?
Here's what most people do. They panic. They rush. They say something, anything.
But emotionally tired English needs pauses, not speed.
You can say, let me think for a second, and breathe.
That sentence is powerful. It buys you time. It lowers pressure.
And yes, that sentence is real English.
Many learners feel guilty for pausing. They think, I should be faster.
But fluency is not speed. Fluency is comfort.
When you're emotionally tired, your goal is not fluency. Your goal is kindness towards yourself.
Because kindness keeps you speaking. Cruel pressure makes you silent.
Some days, even saying okay feels like work.
And that's okay. You're human, not a language machine. Let me say this clearly. If today your English is simple, that means you're listening to yourself.
And listening to yourself is the beginning of confidence.
Something interesting happens when you allow this kind of English. Your words slowly return, without force.
Because your mind feels safe again.
So, if right now you feel quiet, heavy, or a little distant, stay here. You're not falling behind. You're resetting.
And English.
You know what usually comes next? After emotional tiredness? Silence. Not the peaceful kind. The uncomfortable kind.
Yes, that silence where you want to speak, but something inside says, not now.
And that's when people start believing, I'm losing my English. But they're not. They're just protecting themselves.
Exactly. Your mind is not broken. It's tired. There's a big difference.
Let me tell you a small story. Very real. Very common.
I already feel it. Go on.
There was a learner. Let's call her Maya. She worked all day. Meetings, deadlines, people talking fast. By evening, her English disappeared.
Oh, I know that feeling.
At home, someone asked her, "How was your day?" She wanted to answer, but her mouth said, "Fine."
That one word, so heavy.
Maya thought the problem was vocabulary, grammar, fluency. But the real problem was emotional overload.
Because when emotions are full, words have no space.
Exactly. Language needs mental space.
It's like trying to speak English while carrying 10 grocery bags. Something will drop.
And usually, it's confidence. So here's something important. When you're emotionally tired, you don't need more English. You need lighter English.
Lighter English.
Yes, shorter sentences, simpler thoughts, more pauses, less performance.
That already feels easier.
Instead of saying, "Let me give you a detailed explanation," you say, "I'll explain simply."
And nobody dies. the world continues.
Exactly.
People think good English means complex English, but real communication is clear English.
And clarity comes from calm. Here's something no one tells learners. You're allowed to sound tired in English.
Yes, you don't have to sound perfect to be respected.
Imagine you're at work. Someone asks, "Can you share your thoughts?" And your energy is low.
You can say, I don't have a full answer yet, but this is what I think.
That sentence is gold. It protects you and keeps you speaking.
Notice something? We're not hiding, we're adjusting.
Adjustment is strength, not weakness. Back to Maya. Once she stopped forcing herself, something changed.
What happened?
She started saying small things, honest things. "I'm tired today. I need a moment."
And people understood.
They always do. More than we expect.
Sometimes we imagine judgment, but receive empathy.
And that empathy brings words back. If you're listening right now and you feel quiet inside, that's okay.
You're not failing. You're human.
And something powerful happens when you accept this stage. Your English doesn't disappear. It transforms.
Into something more real.
More natural. More yours.
And once that happens, speaking stops feeling heavy.
It starts feeling possible again. You know what happens next for many learners after they stop forcing English? Fear shows up.
Yes, that quiet fear that says, what if I speak, but it's not enough?
That fear doesn't shout, it whispers. And because it whispers, people listen to it.
Especially kind people, especially thoughtful people.
Let's talk about confidence. Not loud confidence, not perfect English confidence, but quiet confidence.
The kind that doesn't need permission.
Yes, the kind that stays, even when words are missing.
I remember once I was at a small gathering. Everyone was speaking English, fast, confident.
And you felt small?
Very. My heart was loud, my English was quiet.
That moment is so familiar.
Someone asked me a simple question, nothing difficult, but my mind went blank.
Blank doesn't mean empty. It means overloaded.
I wish I knew that then.
Here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come from knowing more words. It comes from trusting the few words you already have.
Trusting yourself, even when English feels small?
Especially then. Let's imagine another moment. You're in a shop. The cashier says something unexpected.
Unexpected English is the worst English.
Exactly. Your brain freezes. Old you stays silent.
But new you?
New you says, "Sorry, can you say that again?"
Such a simple sentence, such a powerful one.
That sentence buys you time. Time lowers anxiety. Lower anxiety brings words back.
It's like breathing space in sentence form.
Many learners think fluency means speed, but calm speakers are often the most fluent.
Because they're not fighting themselves.
Yes, they're cooperating with themselves.
I want to say this clearly. You don't owe anyone fast English.
You only owe yourself honest English. Remember Maya? Something interesting happened next.
Tell me.
Once she stopped hiding her tiredness, people leaned in, not away.
That's powerful.
Because authenticity creates connection, not perfection.
So maybe the goal isn't to sound impressive. Maybe the goal is to sound human?
Human English. I like that. If you're listening right now and you feel pressure to perform English, you can let that go.
English is not a test. It's a bridge.
And bridges are built slowly, one piece at a time.
Something shifts when people realize this. They stop waiting to be ready.
And that shift changes everything.
Because once pressure fades, English starts showing up differently.
More naturally, more gently, more honestly. And when that happens, something very important begins.
A new relationship with English.
One that finally feels safe. You know,
When English finally feels safe, that's when it starts to grow.
Not because you push it, but because you allow it.
Growth doesn't happen in fear. It happens in safety.
I wish more learners knew this earlier. They think struggle means progress.
But comfort creates consistency, and consistency creates confidence.
And confidence changes how you show up in the world.
I once met a learner who said something unforgettable. She said, "I don't hate English. I just feel small inside it."
That sentence hurts because it's so honest.
And so many people feel that way silently.
But here's the beautiful part. Feeling small doesn't mean you are small.
It just means you haven't felt safe enough yet. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall, they wobble.
But they never think, maybe walking isn't for me.
Exactly. They try again because the world feels safe enough.
Language should feel like that. Supportive, forgiving.
Not like a spotlight, not like a judgment. If you remember one thing from this episode, remember this.
You don't need better English. You need a better relationship with English.
Yes, and relationships grow with kindness.
So let's do something small together, right now.
Take a breath, not a big one, just a real one.
And silently say, it's okay to be where I am.
That sentence alone changes how your brain listens. Here's your challenge. Very simple, very powerful.
Tomorrow or later today, use English gently.
One sentence, spoken or written, no fixing, no judging.
Just expression, just honesty.
And if you want to go one step further, share that sentence in the comments.
Not to be perfect, but to be visible.
Someone reading your sentence might feel less alone.
And yes, we really read them.
All of them. If this episode felt different, if it felt calmer, kinder.
That's the kind of English space we're building here.
So if you want more conversations like this, you can subscribe.
Not for us, for your future self. And just quickly, if you enjoy learning English this way, calm, human, real,
This channel is designed exactly for that.
no pressure, no shouting, just progress that feels safe.
One day, you'll speak English and realize you're not scared anymore.
And that moment won't be loud. It'll be quiet.
Like peace.
Until then, be kind to yourself.
Small steps add up, and you are already on your way.
We'll be right here with you.
See you in the next episode.
Hey, welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily.
Hi everyone! If you are listening while getting ready for work or maybe hiding under your blanket, we see you.
And today, we are talking about something very real, something that almost every English learner experiences.
That moment when your heart beats faster, your hands feel cold, and your voice suddenly sounds different.
Yes, when you speak English and you don't sound like yourself.
Your voice becomes small, shaky, maybe even high-pitched.
And inside your head, there's panic.
Don't make a mistake. Don't look stupid. Why am I like this?
And here's the truth. It's not your vocabulary, it's not your grammar, it's your nervous system.
Oh, this is interesting already.
Because when you're nervous, your body thinks you are in danger.
Like a lion is chasing you.
Yes, but the lion is just a job interview.
Or a meeting, or ordering coffee.
And your body reacts the same way. Heart rate increases, breathing becomes shallow, voice becomes tight.
That's why it feels like your throat closes.
Exactly. So today, we are not just teaching phrases.
We're teaching how to control your voice.
How to sound calm even when you're nervous. Let me tell you something that happened to me.
Story time?
Yes, years ago, I had to give a presentation in English.
Oh no!
My English was good, my slides were ready, but when I started speaking, hello, everyone?
No!
My voice went up like this, and I could hear it, which made me more nervous.
That's the worst part, when you hear yourself shaking.
Yes, and in that moment, I realized something important.
What?
People don't judge your grammar first. They feel your energy first.
Energy before accuracy.
Exactly. So, let's start with the first technique.
Yes, give us the secret.
Slow down your breathing.
That's it?
Yes, because your voice follows your breath.
Oh.
Coach like calm. Before you speak, take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. Inhale, exhale.
You already sound calmer.
Because I am calmer. Technique number 2. Use intentional pauses.
Like silence?
Yes, silence is power.
Most learners are afraid of silence.
But confident speakers use silence. For example, I think we should try a different solution.
That sounds professional.
Because calm people don't rush.
Okay, but what about when someone speaks very fast?
You slow the conversation down.
How?
You say, let me think for a second.
That buys time.
Exactly. You don't panic. You control the rhythm. And here's something important.
We're listening.
Calm is not a personality. Calm is a skill.
That's powerful.
And skills can be trained. In the next part of this conversation, we're going to show you something shocking.
The one mistake that makes you sound more nervous than you actually are.
And once you fix that, your English voice changes immediately.
Smiling intrigue.
Stay with us, because by the end of this episode, you won't just speak English.
You'll sound calm doing it.
So let's go deeper now, because sounding calm is not just about breathing.
It's about what's happening inside your head, right?
Exactly. Because when you feel nervous in English, your brain tells a story.
A story like, I'm not good enough.
Or they will judge me.
Or the classic, I'm going to embarrass myself.
And when your brain believes that story, your body reacts.
A heart beats faster.
Voice becomes tight.
Words disappear.
But here's the shift. You are not nervous because of English. You are nervous because you care.
That changes everything.
Caring is not weakness. It means you want to do well.
So instead of fighting nervousness,
you manage it. Now, let's do something practical. A calm voice drill.
Oh, I like drills. They feel powerful.
Good. Repeat after me slowly. I'm not in danger.
I'm not in danger.
This is just a conversation.
This is just a conversation.
I can take my time.
I can take my time.
Feel the difference?
Even saying it slower makes my chest relax.
Because calm starts inside. Now, let's try a real-life situation.
Interview?
Yes. You walk into a job interview.
Hi, hello, good morning. Thank you for this opportunity.
That is exactly what most people do.
I didn't even breathe.
Let's do it again. Slow. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
That already sounds confident.
Same words, different energy. Energy changes perception. Now, here's another situation. You don't understand a question.
Yes. I mean, maybe.
That sounds uncertain.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Now that sounds calm.
The pause makes it powerful.
Exactly. Calm people pause before they speak. Now, let's talk about identity.
Identity.
If you believe I'm a nervous speaker, you will act nervous.
But if you believe I'm learning to be calm,
your behavior changes.
So it's not fake confidence.
No, it's practiced calmness. Let's do one more drill.
Yes.
Say this slowly. I need a moment to think.
I need a moment to think.
Now faster. I need a moment to think. Hear the difference?
The slower one feels confident.
Because calm is controlled speed.
Now, let me ask you something.
We're listening.
In your last English conversation, did you rush?
Or did you pause?
This week, try one thing
Speak 20% slower.
and watch what happens,
People will lean in.
because calm voices create trust. And in the next part of this conversation, we're going to show you something even more powerful,
How to stay calm when someone challenges you.
because staying calm when things are easy is simple,
Staying calm under pressure, that's skill.
and you're about to learn it. Now let's step into something harder. Real pressure.
The kind where your stomach drops?
Yes, when someone interrupts you, when someone disagrees, when someone challenges you.
Oh, that's when my English disappears.
That's normal, because pressure activates survival mode.
Fight, flight, or freeze?
Exactly, and many English learners freeze. Let's imagine a meeting.
Okay.
You share an idea, and someone says, "I don't think that will work."
Well, I mean, maybe, sorry.
Pause. Under pressure, slow down.
Okay.
Try this instead. That's an interesting point. Can you explain your concern?
That's an interesting point. Can you explain your concern?
Hear that?
It sounds calm and strong.
Because authority is not loud, it is controlled. When someone challenges you, your ego reacts.
Ego?
Ego is that part of you that wants to be right, to look smart.
That part is very active.
In all of us, but calm speakers detach from ego.
Detach, meaning separate?
Yes, they focus on the conversation, not their pride. Let's try a stronger scenario.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Pause. Try this. I see it differently.
I see it differently.
Let me explain my perspective.
Let me explain my perspective.
That is power. You don't win arguments by speed, you win by stability.
Stability feels safe.
And when you feel safe, your brain works better. Now let's talk about transforming your voice.
This is the part I love.
Step 1. Lower your pitch slightly.
Like this?
Yes, lower pitch signals calm authority. Step 2. Add intentional pauses.
I understand your concern. Let's look at the data.
Perfect. Pauses show confidence. Rushing shows fear. Now imagine someone raises their voice at you,
Oh no.
and you respond even calmer.
I'd like to continue this respectfully,
That shifts power instantly.
because calmness becomes dominant.
Exactly. The calmest person in the room often controls the room. So here's your exercise this week.
We love challenges.
In your next disagreement, speak 20% slower.
Add one pause
Lower your pitch slightly.
and watch how people respond.
You don't need perfect grammar to sound powerful.
You need calm control.
And in the next part, we're going even deeper.
We're going to show you how to stay calm when your emotions explode inside.
Because calm English is not about pretending, it's about mastering yourself.
And you're learning how.
Now we're stepping into something deeper. Not just voice control, emotional control.
Because sometimes the problem is not English, it's emotion.
Exactly. When emotion rises, language collapses.
Yes, when I'm upset, my grammar disappears.
Because your nervous system takes control, not your vocabulary. Let's understand this clearly. When someone criticizes you, your body reacts first.
Heart faster, breathing shallow, voice shaky.
That is fight or flight, and calm dominance begins with interrupting that reaction.
So, how do we interrupt it?
You regulate before you respond. Step 1. Slow exhale.
Exhale slowly.
Longer exhale signals safety to your brain. Then speak. Let's enter a real conflict scenario.
Okay, I'm nervous already.
Why did you make this mistake?
I didn't mean to.
Pause. Try this instead. Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
Notice the difference.
It doesn't sound defensive.
Because calm dominance avoids emotional spikes. Dominance does not mean aggression.
It means emotional stability.
Exactly. Now imagine someone says, "You're not listening."
That would upset me.
Respond calmly. "I am listening. I want to understand better."
I am listening. I want to understand better.
That shifts the emotional temperature.
Temperature?
Every conversation has an emotional temperature. You can raise it or cool it. Calm speakers cool the room.
And the calmest person controls the direction.
Yes. Let me tell you about a manager I once observed.
What happened?
2 employees were arguing loudly, voices rising. The manager entered and spoke softer than both of them.
Softer?
Yes. Let's sit. Calm, low tone. Within seconds, the room followed his energy.
Because people mirror emotional energy.
Exactly. When you stay calm under pressure, you send a signal.
What signal?
I am stable. I am not threatened. I control myself. And self-control is more impressive than perfect grammar.
Always.
Now, let's practice emotional regulation drill number 2.
Okay.
When someone interrupts you, raise your hand slightly
Like this?
and say, "Let me finish."
Let me finish.
Short, controlled, no apology.
No, sorry.
Exactly. Calm dominance removes unnecessary apologies. Now, here is the most advanced layer.
I'm listening.
Emotionally strong speakers do not react to tone.
Not react.
If someone sounds angry, they respond to content, not tone. They don't absorb emotional chaos. Calm dominance is emotional independence.
That feels powerful.
It is, and you can train it. This week, during one stressful moment,
Yes?
slow down. Speak 20% slower.
And observe the shift.
You'll feel the power immediately. And in the final part, we bring everything together.
Voice, emotion, identity.
Because sounding calm is not just technique. It is becoming the person who stays steady.
And you're closer than you think.
Now, we go deeper than technique, deeper than tone, deeper than phrases. We talk about who you are becoming.
Becoming. Not just sounding calm, but being calm.
Exactly. Because calm English is not a performance, it's identity. If you believe, "I am nervous," your voice will shake. If you believe, "I am learning," your voice will steady. If you believe, "I handle pressure," your nervous system listens.
So the real shift is not in vocabulary, it's in self-concept.
Yes, self-concept is the story you repeat about yourself. Let me tell you something honest. I used to speak fast when I felt insecure. I thought fast meant smart.
Ah, the fast equals confident illusion.
Exactly. But fast is often fear. Slow is control. Authority is not volume. Authority is not complexity. Authority is steadiness.
So how do we install that identity?
3 layers: breath, voice, belief. First layer: breath before speech. Inhale, exhale longer. Now speak.
I understand your concern. Let's solve this.
Feel the difference?
It feels anchored.
Second layer: voice control under pressure. Nervous version. I think maybe we could. Calm version. Here's my suggestion. Pause. Silence. Eye contact.
That silence feels powerful.
Because silence signals confidence. Third layer: belief upgrade. Stop saying, "I get nervous." Start saying, "I regulate under pressure."
That feels different in the body.
Words shape nervous system response. Imagine a job interview.
That's everyone's fear.
Instead of rushing answers, you pause, you breathe, you say, "That's a good question."
That's a good question. Here's how I see it.
Now you are not reacting, you are responding. And here is something important. Calm people are not fearless,
They feel fear too.
but they don't let fear drive the wheel. Right now, you are not just learning English. You are upgrading your presence.
Presence is how you enter a room.
Presence is how people feel when you speak. This week, choose one moment to practice calm authority.
Maybe a meeting, maybe a phone call, maybe even ordering coffee.
Pause before speaking. Lower your pitch slightly. Slow down by 20%. And watch what happens.
People will lean in.
They will listen. Because calm is rare. And rare feels valuable.
And you are capable of that calm.
Say this quietly to yourself. I stay steady. I speak with control. I handle pressure. If this episode shifted something in you, like it, subscribe, share it with someone who needs confidence.
And if you don't subscribe, Sam will speak very fast again.
We don't want that.
So join us. Let's build calm together.
Remember, calm is not personality. It is a trained response. And now you know how to train it.
This is Speak English with Sam and Lily.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily. If you want to speak English more confidently and stop freezing in conversations, you are in the right place.
Hi, everyone. We are so happy you're here. And if your goal is to speak real English in real life, not just study grammar rules, then stay with us today.
Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever been in a conversation and suddenly your brain goes blank? You hear the words, but you don't understand the message?
Oh, yes. That moment when someone speaks fast and you just smile and nod, hoping it will be fine.
And inside your head, you're thinking, what did they just say? Should I ask? Is it too late?
If that has happened to you, don't worry. It happens to everyone, even native speakers.
Today, we're talking about something very practical. How to talk when you don't understand something. Because this moment is not a failure. It's a communication skill.
And here's something important. Many learners think asking questions makes them look weak, but actually, it makes you look engaged and confident.
Let me tell you a quick story. Last week, I was talking to my neighbor. He just started a new job, and he was excited. He spoke very fast, very technical words, big sentences.
Did you understand him?
Not at all. For the first 10 seconds, I smiled, I nodded, I pretended.
Classic mistake.
Yes, but then I stopped myself, and I said, "Sorry, can you say that again?" And guess what?
He repeated it.
Slowly, clearly, and suddenly it made sense.
That phrase is powerful. Can you say that again? Simple, friendly, natural.
Let's give our listeners more phrases. You can say, "I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that? What do you mean?"
Notice something. These are short sentences. You don't need complex grammar. Short is powerful.
And here's the mindset shift. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is communication. If you don't understand, silence makes it worse. Questions make it better.
Let me ask our listeners something. Have you ever understood nothing but you didn't ask? You just smiled and hoped the conversation would end?
If that's you, don't feel bad. We've all done it. But today, we're changing that habit.
Because every time you ask a question, you grow. Every time you clarify, you build confidence.
Now, let's imagine real-life situations. Not classroom English, real daily English.
You're at a coffee shop. The barista says, "For here or to go?" And your brain freezes.
That question is fast. The rhythm is different. It doesn't sound like textbook English. So what do you say?
Sorry, what does that mean? Or could you say that more slowly?
And they will explain. They hear that every day. It's normal.
I love this word for this situation. Curious. Don't feel embarrassed. Feel curious.
Exactly. Curiosity keeps conversations alive. And this is just the beginning. So let's go a little deeper into real daily life situations. Because most confusion doesn't happen in classrooms. It happens outside, in normal conversations.
Yes. Ordering food, asking for directions, talking to neighbors. Small, everyday things.
Let's imagine you're at a supermarket. The cashier asks, debit or credit? And it sounds fast. Maybe it sounds like one long word.
Yes, sometimes it sounds like debit credit all together.
Instead of panicking, you can say, sorry, which one? Or even simpler, can you repeat that?
Notice something important. You don't need a perfect sentence. You don't need to explain your life story. Short works. Clear works.
Now let's talk about directions. This is a classic situation. Someone says, go straight, turn left at the second light, then cross the street and it's next to the pharmacy.
That's a lot of information, especially if they speak quickly.
Here's a powerful strategy. Don't try to catch everything. Focus on key words. Light, left, cross, pharmacy.
And if you miss something, don't restart the whole conversation. Just ask for the part you missed. Sorry, after the second light, left or right?
That's called clarifying small pieces, and it keeps the conversation flowing.
Many learners think they must understand everything immediately, but real communication is interactive. It moves back and forth.
Let's talk about friends now, because friends speak differently, faster, more relaxed, more slang.
Yes, someone says, "I'm starving," and you think, "Starving? Is it serious?"
But it just means very hungry. If you don't know, ask, what does starving mean?
Your friend won't judge you. They'll explain, and the conversation continues.
Here's another powerful technique. Repeat what you think you heard. For example, so we meet at 6? So you want me to wait here?
That's called checking understanding. It's extremely natural. Native speakers do it all the time.
Now let's talk about school and work situations, because these feel more serious. The instructions matter.
Yes, this is where many learners feel nervous, afraid to make mistakes.
Let's imagine a manager says, send the files before lunch and copy the finance team. If you don't know what copy means in email language, ask, do you mean include them in the email?
Notice how short that is. You don't need complex grammar. You just clarify the confusing word.
Sometimes the confusion isn't vocabulary, it's speed. Your brain needs 2 more seconds. That's where buying time helps.
You can say, "Let me think. Give me a second. Just a moment."
These small phrases protect you from panic, and panic is the real enemy, because when you panic, your brain stops listening.
Let's talk about the emotional side. Many learners feel embarrassed. They think, "I look stupid."
No, you look human. Confusion is human. Asking is human.
I remember once, I was in a meeting. Everyone nodded when the manager explained something. I didn't understand one key detail. I almost stayed silent, but I asked, "Sorry, just to confirm, is the deadline Friday or Monday?"
And?
Half the room looked relieved. They were confused too, but nobody asked.
That's powerful. When you ask, you help everyone.
So instead of thinking, "I'm bad at English," think, "I'm practicing communication."
And here's the truth. The more you ask questions, the easier it becomes. It becomes a habit, not a scary moment.
Let's ask our listeners something now. Think about your last conversation in English.
Was there a moment you didn't understand? Did you ask? Or did you stay silent?
From today, make one small change. Ask one question, even if it feels uncomfortable. That one question builds fluency faster than silence.
And sometimes, the problem isn't that you didn't understand. It's that you don't know the word you want to say. The idea is clear in your mind, but the English word is missing.
Yes, that moment feels frustrating. Your brain says the word in your language, but English? Nothing.
And this is where many learners freeze. They stop speaking completely. They think, if I don't know the exact word, I can't continue.
But that's not true. You don't need the perfect word. You need the idea. Communication is about ideas, not perfection.
So, let's learn a powerful skill now, describing. Instead of naming the word, describe the thing.
For example, imagine you forget the word elevator. You can say, the machine that takes people up and down in a building.
Perfect. Maybe not short, but clear. And clarity wins.
Another example, you forget wallet. You say, the small thing where I keep my money and cards.
That works. And here's something important. Native speakers do this too, all the time.
Yes, even in our own language, we say, that thing, the thing for opening bottles.
And someone says, you mean a bottle opener?
Exactly. So describing is natural. It's human.
Here's another tool. Use category words, big general words like animal, fruit, machine, tool.
Let's say you forget cucumber. You can say, it's a vegetable, long, green, used in salad.
That's enough information. The other person will understand.
And when they understand you, something powerful happens. Your confidence increases. You realize, I can communicate.
That moment is huge because fluency is not vocabulary size. It's confidence under pressure.
There's another trick, comparing. If you forget backpack, you can say, it's like a bag, but you wear it on your back.
Comparing creates a mental picture. Pictures help understanding faster than definitions.
I remember a student once. She forgot the word blender. She said, the kitchen machine that makes fruit drink. And everyone understood.
That's real communication, not perfect English, real English.
And every time you describe instead of freezing, your brain becomes braver.
Now let's practice a live simulation. I'll describe something without saying the word. You guess it.
Okay, let's try.
It's a small device. You use it to charge your phone. It connects to electricity.
Charger.
Exactly. See how easy that was?
Listeners, try this at home. Pick an object near you, describe it in simple English, even if you don't know the name.
This exercise rewires your brain. It trains flexibility, and flexibility creates fluency.
Now let's talk about something important, the fear of looking silly. Many learners don't describe because they're afraid.
But here's the truth. The only real mistake is silence. Silence blocks growth.
And confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after action.
So, the next time you don't know a word, don't stop. Describe, compare, ask, continue.
Because fluency is not about knowing every word. It's about staying in the conversation, and you are capable of that.
In the next part, we're going to combine everything. Listening strategies, buying time, describing, confirming, in full, real-life conversations. And you'll see how powerful this becomes when it flows naturally.
So now, let's bring everything together. Because real life doesn't happen in slow motion. People don't pause for you. Conversations